Rob and Slim Show. We're back with Spencer Garrett, actor and producer in LA.
What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
We're doing all right, Spencer. Sorry for making you hold. We were on our little break. So, how are you, my
That's all
friend?
right. I got to listen to some very loud music.
Oh, how are you doing in this stupid year, Spencer?
Oh man, the stupidest of years.
Right?
It's just extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, I just can't wait for it to end. I feel like we're all just in some sort of weird fever dream nightmare. It's just too bizarre. I woke up today, in my little neighborhood here in Los Angeles, walked down the street to get a Starbucks, and there was 10 armed National Guardsmen out there,
What?
guarding my scones, and and I just thought, oh yeah, and we're also in a pandemic.
Yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
it's
Scones
just
we
bananas.
trust.
It's a very sad time.
Yes,
But I'm hoping that we're all going to come through for the better. I hope.
I hope so. I hope there's some sort of reform with the justice system and our the people who are supposed to serve and protect us.
There has to be a lot of change from the ground up. So I'm hoping it starts now. I mean, all of the looting and all the bad stuff going on, it's tragic, but I think it's all part of the larger story.
Right.
That this is a long time coming.
Yes.
And people are very upset, and so I'm hoping that it's going to be a cleansing in a way, and it's going to change a lot of people's minds about how the criminal justice system is run and how the policing is done, and hopefully it'll a lot of hearts are broken, but hopefully a lot of hearts will mend after this is over.
I agreed. I don't know about you, Spencer. 43, and I've never seen anything this fucked up. And I saw 9/11. I still haven't seen any year this messed up in my lifetime.
Well, neither have I. I mean, I was obviously around for 9/11 too, and I grew up as a teenager. I grew up in the mid '70s, but my mom was very much a political activist, in the '60s, and so I'm a byproduct politically, of that era, and a lot of good things came out of that. A lot of change came out of it.
Yeah.
So it seems like every 20, 30 years there has to be some sort of a political revolution in order for things to, reset. And so this has been a resetting that is 400 years overdue. So I'm hoping that it happens. But I mean, you and I, the three of us, we haven't seen anything like this in our lifetime for sure. And every couple of years, I mean, there's a Ferguson or something that peels back the layers of racism. But this is really opened up a wound and exposed a wound in our nation's psyche that is long overdue to heal. So I'm hopeful. I'm despite all of the darkness, you guys, I'm very hopeful. I feel positive. You have to feel positive about something good coming out of all of this.
Yes, I agree. And you, Spencer, you've been acting since the late '80s, correct?
I started when I was a kid. Actually, I started when I was. I did some after-school specials and commercials and things when I was a little kid. I'm a byproduct of an acting family. My grandparents were actors. My mom was an actor. My aunt and uncles were both actors. So it's in the family blood. It's sort of the family business. So I did it when I was a kid, but I really started in earnest in the late '80s, early '90s. I kind of got going, but I went to theater school. I studied in the mid '80s with some very good teachers, and then I kind of jumped in with both feet in about '91. And I keep. Thank God, I keep going.
So what's like holiday dinner like? Is it like just improv? Are you always trying to outact your mother at the dinner table? Like, how does it work, Spencer?
That's funny. No, there's no improv at the dinner table. I mean, I've got family scattered all over the world. So I've got family in Hawaii and Switzerland and New York City and California, and so and in the Midwest, I have a lot of. I've got some family members in the Midwest that are big fans of the president and are politically on the other side of the map from where I stand, and so those holidays were always very interesting conversations, and but there's still family. Family's family, and blood is blood. And but yeah, there's not a lot of improv going on. We just go right for the food.
And I was going to ask too, in all those years of acting, how has it changed, if it has, as far as I don't know, filming or anything like that? Has there been a lot of advancements in those years?
Yeah, in terms of what? I mean, there's a hell of a lot more content. Obviously, if you go on Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, and you look in your queue and you see thousands and thousands of things to choose from, and there's so many new shows. So in the advent of streaming, I think probably since Netflix started streaming, and House of Cards and those early shows, things like Breaking Bad that started on AMC channel, but really got their traction, from the streaming services. So, fortunately for actors, there's a lot more content, and there's a lot more jobs for us to be had out there. But that also makes for a lot more competition. But I've been doing this for 30 years now. It's changed a lot since I started out, and there were only a few networks, and now there's 8,000 channels. So,
yes.
It seems to change. I mean, you remember DVDs and CDs?
Yeah.
I cleaned out my closet the other day of thousands of CDs that I just don't use anymore.
Yeah.
So
I still use them.
Just when you catch up with the newest thing, the next new thing comes along. So who knows what the next platform is going to be, or how things are going to be put out into the world. But for me, I'm happy to keep working and filming and shooting whatever venue it is. I mean, I'm doing this thing now during the pandemic.
Yes.
I'm doing a show on Instagram TV, on IGTV.
Is that what it's on? I wanted to ask you. It's Quarantine, correct?
It's called Quarantine, the show, and it is the brainchild of a fellow actor, buddy of mine, Jerry Ying, who is a cat that I met doing Hawaii Five-0 several years ago. We became pals, and he reached out to me about 2.5 months ago and said, look, everybody's going bananas. The entertainment industry is completely shut down, and everyone's out of work, from grips to lighting technicians to craft services, actors, everybody. He said, let's put on a little show to keep ourselves busy and sane, and at the same time try to raise some money for our fellow actors. So we came up with the idea of Quarantine, which is a show about 12 sidelined actors from a fictitious soap opera called Chino Hills that's been on the air for maybe 35 years. And we are all the cast members from that show, and we're sitting in our homes during the quarantine going batshit crazy and trying to keep from going batshit crazy, living our lives. And you find out that the lives of the actors are just as dramatic and wacky and complicated and sexy and funny and weird as they are on this fictitious soap opera. So we're about 23 episodes in. We're just getting to the very end. We're shooting our finale episode, number 25, on Monday. Oh, wow. And it started out as like a little whim of it, and we didn't know that we'd be going this long. We thought we would be going until the end of the pandemic. Who knows how long this thing is going to go?
Yes.
But it's giving everybody a sense of purpose, and we've raised a lot of money for the SAG-AFTRA Foundation COVID-19 Relief Fund, which is what we set out to do. Awesome. And so far, the SAG-AFTRA Foundation has given out somewhere close to $5 million, I think, at this point, to actors in need. I mean, there's the membership of the Screen Actors Guild of SAG-AFTRA. I think it's something like 5% makes a living wage yearly. So a lot of actors are hurting. A lot of people are out of work, and SAG-AFTRA. That's actors, that's broadcasters. That's weathermen, that's everybody. So it affects everyone, and so we wanted to do our part and raise some dough and have a good time.
Yeah.
And in the process,
awesome.
we've got great guest stars that have come and joined us: Steven Weber, Willie Garson from Sex and the City, Rob Morrow from Billions and Northern Exposure. Yesterday we had the great Randy Rainbow. I don't know if you guys are hip to Randy Rainbow.
No, but I need to be.
I want to know who Randy Rainbow is.
You need to be hip to Randy Rainbow. Randy Rainbow is an internet sensation. He's a megastar on YouTube and Twitter. He takes Broadway show tunes and rewrites them into very pointed, funny political satire, and he does them all by himself. He plays multiple characters. He shoots them and records them and edits them all himself in his apartment in New York City, and the views of his little ditties go viral massively. So you definitely need to check out Randy Rainbow. So when we got him to join us on our show yesterday, it was a huge coup for us, and just a delight, because he's an extraordinary performer and just a genius songwriter. And and if you're a fan of politics, a political junkie like I am, and you sit back in agog and horror and amusement at what is playing out daily in Washington, you need to listen to Randy Rainbow, because he puts it all in very funny perspective. It's great. And then the finale episode, we have the great Jeannie Francis from General Hospital, who played Laura of Luke and Laura fame. She is officiating my character's wedding, and that's coming up next week. So we've had a lot of fun guest stars. We've had a lot of fun with the show, and it's just a gas. They're amazing actors to work with. We haven't even met each other yet.
That's what I was going to ask. How do you guys film it? Is it all like via webcams?
You guys, it's all done on Zoom. We all do. We're all kind of zoomed out at this point. We're fucking over Zoom.
Done with Zoom.
But
I still don't even know what it is.
Listen, we love it. It's changed our lives in a way, because it's brought us all together.
Yes.
I have 2 big family Zooms every weekend, but we've got 3 different guys that are recording our scenes. So we basically give the actors like a plot point, a story point, and the director, Jerry, kind of guides them. We call it guided improv.
Yes.
There's no script. They make it up. They make it up as they go along, and they try to hit the story points, and then we do multiple takes of each scene, and then we pick the best take, and that's what we put into the episode. So it's very meticulous. It's very difficult to do. These actors are giving their time for free, and all day Friday and all day Saturday we shoot, and then we put them out onto IGTV Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And we have a very healthy following and a devoted following of actors and artists and people who've contributed to the SAG Foundation. So it's a gas, man. It's a joy to be able to do this and to give people some joy. You can only watch so many reruns of Better Call Saul, or there's only so much content out there. So we are the only SAG after contract in existence right now. We're the only SAG contract going, awesome. which is pretty cool.
Yes, absolutely. I was going to ask too, Spencer, what projects do you have that started before the pandemic that have been put on hold?
Well, I was cast as one of the leads in a new HBO series for Adam McKay. The great Adam McKay from Vice and Ron Burgundy and Step Brothers. We shot a pilot. It's called Showtime. It's me, John C. Reilly, the great Jason Clarke. It's about the late 1980s LA Lakers with Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and we were just getting ready to start filming that this month when everything shut down. So we don't know when we're going back into production, guys. We might go in the fall. It might not be till after the first of the year, but it's a really, really funny show about how the Showtime Lakers came into being. I play Chick Hearn. I play the broadcaster for the Lakers, the guy that called the play-by-play for the Lakers for 50 years. And Adam McKay directed the pilot. He did Succession, and it's just an extraordinary director. And so we were all pretty bummed out when when this pandemic hit, and it's just one thing after another, man. It's like so we're all chomping at the bit. We can't wait to get back to work. But but Showtime will be coming to HBO near you, hopefully in the not too distant future.
That's the craziest thing to hear. Showtime will be coming to HBO.
Yes, I know. It's an interesting choice of titles. I'm sure Showtime's thrilled about it.
As they should be.
That's the working title. I mean, it might change by the time we get on the air, but right now it's called Showtime because they were the Showtime Lakers.
Yes.
We might not be on the air till next spring, but we will get back to work, and we will get back to work with a vengeance.
Did you get to meet John C. Reilly? He's an incredible man.
Oh man, he's just the best. I just adore that man. He's a longtime pal of mine, Jason Clarke, who plays Jerry West. Jason and I did Public Enemies together with Johnny Depp years ago in Chicago. John and I have never worked together. We've known each other for 25, 30 years, but we've never had a chance to work together. It's amazing. You know, we did the HBO pilot for McKay. We shot it back in August. And when we saw each other on the set, you know, we had 3 weeks together, had a gas, and then I feel like every time I turn on my television set, every third movie that I see, John C. Reilly is in it. He's been absolutely in everything. I mean, he's a national treasure.
He is.
He's one of our greatest actors.
Oh.
And if you haven't seen Stan and Ollie, that he did with Steve Coogan, where he plays, it's about Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy. It's a brilliant, brilliant film. It's probably the last film that he had out last year. It's a beautiful, beautiful film.
Oh my God!
So yeah, I love John C. and I love all my castmates.
Yes.
So we're getting, you know, hopefully we'll get back on that soon. I had wrapped before the pandemic hit. I wrapped a film called Blonde about Marilyn Monroe with Ana de Armas from Knives Out playing Marilyn Monroe. And It's got Adrian Brody in it and Bobby Cannavale and a great cast.
Love Bobby.
So that'll be out in the fall too. So, you know, some couple of things in the can, a lot to look forward to. But right now, I'm just watching the paint peel. You know.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, man. Having worked with so many amazing people, is there anyone that you would be starstruck to work with?
I'm starstruck with everybody, guys. I'm every time I get to walk onto a set, you know, I think, God damn, I'm just so lucky to be able to do this.
Wow.
I mean, when I was lucky enough to be cast in the Tarantino film last year, and I remember walking onto the set with, you know, and seeing off in the distance, seeing Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio sitting in their chairs that I was about to film in the scene with them. And I kind of had to stop myself. I've been doing this a long time.
Yes.
And, you know, I kind of stopped on the walk up to them, and I went, holy shit, that's Brad Pitt, and that's Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So, yeah, it's cool, man.
And
you know, and they're great guys.
Yeah.
And we had a blast. But, yeah, I'm always thrilled at the opportunity to work on a film, to walk onto a set with people that I respect and admire.
I mean, getting your face melted off with Robert Downey. Robert Downey was just like, wow. Like, we watched that scene earlier before the show. Me and Slim watched the Iron Man 3 scene. It was just like, wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Getting and that's funny because Stephanie Shostak, who played the woman who reached through my chest, you know, and grabbed the sheriff's gun and shot me. She and I went on a couple of years later. We ended up doing a TV series together called Satisfaction. She's an amazing actor and has become a really dear friend. So that's funny. Yeah, I had a great time on that film. That was a great time. I was actually cast as the president. Believe it or not, I was cast as the president character in Iron Man 3. And about 2 weeks before I was supposed to start filming, Marvel decided that I had too much of a baby face, that I looked too young.
I'll vote for you this November, Spencer. I don't even care. I'll vote for you right now.
Spencer Garrett 2020.
But so I got to play the sheriff, which was cool, and spent 6 weeks in Wilmington, North Carolina, a state that I love, and Downey and I have known each other for a million years, so we had a good time, and he's a great collaborator and a great castmate, and a genius of an actor.
Did you know him in his wild early 90 years, in his amazing coked out Robert Downey years?
You know, I mean, talk about a success story.
Yes.
I mean, the dude was in jail. You know, he was at the bottom of the barrel.
He was
had
blacklisted. He was like blacklisted.
He squandered.
Yeah.
And Shane Black, to his credit, the guy that directed Iron Man 3, Shane put him in a movie called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang with Val Kilmer, which was kind of Downey's comeback film in a way, that he was amazing in. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's it's him and Kilmer, Michelle Monaghan. It's a great film, and Shane put him in that, and as a thank you, in a sense, to Shane, Rob gave Shane the gig of directing Iron Man 3, which is, for my money, it's the best of the series. It's the best of the Iron Man films.
I agree.
So Downey is a mensch and just an incredibly solid cat.
Yeah.
And a brilliant guy to work for.
He's awesome.
Downey was in a movie that I love that nobody even knows exists, I think, called A Scanner Darkly.
I did. I love that.
It was based on a Philip K. Dick novel. Fucking amazing.
Oh,
and
sure.
He played like himself at that time, I guess. He was just tripping the whole time.
That movie was
That's
really
right.
cool.
Keanu Reeves.
I love that film.
Yes. I think I saw
love
that in
film.
theaters.
It's Richard Linklater, isn't it?
I think so. I'm not sure.
I think it is. I might be
so.
thinking Waking Life.
Oh, that was another great
but-
one. Oh my God.
Scanner Darkly was the one that was done sort of like they had some kind of weird like thing. Oh, like they filmed it, but
Waking Life was like that too. It was almost like animated.
Yeah, like almost
That's
animated.
Right. It's
Yep.
the same style, kind of animated. The bodies were sort of moving, but they were kind of swirly, cartoonish.
Yeah.
Very, very trippy.
Yes.
You might want to ingest some ingestibles
Something.
or smoke something interesting before watching either of those two films.
Yes.
Not that I condone that
No.
kind of behavior, but you never know.
So I thought it was funny you said that you were gonna play the president in Iron Man 3, but you ended up playing a president in Bloods and Korra, which I love the Avatar Nickelodeon series. So I thought that was awesome.
Oh yeah. That was a great time. I think I did like 53 episodes of that. I was not aware at all of what a huge deal Korra was to that fan base. So when I got that gig, I signed on. I did a couple, and then they just kept bringing me back, and then we ended up going to Comic-Cons. And that character became hugely popular. So that was a really fun thing to walk into, and to realize well into it how much that show and those characters were loved. And President Ryko, he was an interesting dude. It's weird. I get strange tweets from people who loved that character and hated that character and loved the way I voiced him and hated the way I voiced him.
Oh my
So,
God.
Wait, going to
please everybody.
Yeah.
going to the Comic-Cons and stuff where people dressed up as him.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's exactly right. People would come up to me in the booths dressed as me, which is just bizarre.
Yeah.
Not quite as bizarre as going to a Star Trek convention and having people dressed as my character Simon Tarsus from Next Generation, literally showing up with rubber pointy ears and flight suit and all of that. So when people get into it, man, they get into it.
So, wait, I forgot you were in the Next Generation. Did you get to work with Patrick Stewart?
Of course.
I did work with Patrick Stewart. I was that was one of my very first jobs. I was quite intimidated by it. It was about 1991 or 92. I think it was second season, and I was a little nervous around him because he was a great Shakespearean actor that I was very well aware of. I'd seen him do Shakespeare, in films and on stage in London in the 70s and 80s. So. I was trying to hold my own. I hadn't done a hell of a lot up until that point, so it was a real treat and a real thrill. And Jonathan Frakes, who played Riker on that show, who directed the episode, he and I have since gone on to do several shows together over the years, from Leverage to The Good Guys. I think we've done like 10 shows together over the years. So he's amazing. He's become a great pal, and that whole gang from Star Trek has become great friends.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
The real question I have, Spencer, is Family Matters. How was Urkel? Is he a diva? Did he get rough with you?
He get rough. Yeah, what a prick, that Urkel. Yeah, no, he was a sweetheart. Jaleel was a sweetheart.
Really?
By the time I got onto that show, Jaleel, Urkel was the show. They ended up. He was just supposed to be like a guest star or doing a couple of recurring bits, and he became the breakout star. No, he was lovely. He was a lovely guy. Every time I run into him, I only did 2 episodes. It was quite a while ago, but whenever we see each other, it's a lovely memory.
That's so cool.
He's a terrific guy. All of those actors were great.
Yeah, they seem like
It's crazy to think that too. Like I never knew that show was named Family Matters growing up, I thought it was just a Urkel show.
No, yeah.
Most people did. I remember, Reggie Bell Johnson, who played the father on that,
Yes.
played the cop in Die Hard.
Yes.
Which made his career. A wonderful, wonderful actor. They were all great. It's a sweet memory.
Oh, that's so cool. Spencer, before we have to wrap this up, I want to ask if you could say, this is actor, producer Spencer Garrett, and you're listening to the Rob and Slim Show, and if you want to ad-lib anything in as well, you can feel free.
Before I say that, can I please tell people, if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at #1 Spencer Garrett, on Instagram at Spencer Garrett #1, and then, of course, Quarantine the Show on Instagram TV. You can find our show there, and please jump on and follow us. If you're so inclined to donate $1, $5 to the SAG-AFTRA Foundation COVID-19 Relief Fund, we'd be really grateful. Hey, this is Spencer Garrett, and you're listening to the Rob and Slim Show. And stay safe, everybody. Wash your hands. Hopefully, we'll see you on the other side of that thing in real life. And we love you, and let's get through this together.
Awesome. Thank you, Spencer. Thank you. And yes, I would absolutely love all those plugs that you gave us. Where can everybody find Quarantine?
You can find Quarantine at Quarantine the Show on Instagram and on Instagram TV. We drop our episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're coming up on our finale episode next week, number 25. But you can catch, each episode is between 6 and 9 minutes long. So they're little bite-sized nuggets of episodes of a show. You can binge the entire series in an hour. So find us on Instagram TV at Quarantine the Show. We'd really appreciate your support and your viewership. We love you.
Thank you so much, Spencer, for talking to us. You're an amazing interview.
Thank you, fellas. Thanks for reaching out. I really appreciate it, guys. Didn't you have somebody else from the show? You had one of our other castmates, didn't you?
Oh, who was that?
I don't know. I feel like you have. We've got a mutual friend. You somebody else that I know that came on your show. Maybe not
From Quarantine.
From Quarantine, I don't know. You guys found me on Twitter, yeah?
Yes. I know we've talked to Dustin from Crazy Ant Media. We've talked to him.
There you go.
Before.
Dustin, dude, those guys, Dustin, they've been the most incredible fans of us. Yeah. They've been so supportive.
They're so cool.
It's great. We appreciate your support too, very much, guys.
Yes. Cool. Oh, thank you so much, Spencer. Have a good one, man, and stay safe.
Thank you, fellas. Stay safe. God bless. And anytime you want to talk, reach out. I'm here. And, not just to plug stuff. If you want to just shoot the shit, I love to shoot the breeze, talk about the business.
That is what we love to do. We will definitely talk to you again, Spencer.
You got it, guys. Take care.
You too, my friend.
Awesome.
Wow. Fucking such a cool dude.